Good evening and welcome to the nighttime heat right here on Prime FM 105.5. This program is also being relayed by Radio Gegema, that is in Nima County, Kwatika in Bon County, and of course a Radio Wologisi in Lofa County. We are streaming live tonight on Prime FM Monrovia 105.5 and also streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. That is the Nighttime Heat. Facebook and the Nighttime Heat YouTube channel. We are streaming live. Well, tonight promises to be very, very interesting. We got a lot of issues to talk about, and all concerns Liberia. We'll be talking about our country. We want you to share the show, not only to watch the show online. We want to share also. Just go on your Facebook page, and of course, you tap Nighttime Heat. Likewise, your YouTube channel, and tap Nighttime Heat, and of course, you share the show so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow on what's happening tonight on the Nighttime Heat. Like I said, it promises to be very, very interesting. I'm still with my panelists, but one of the panelists already in studio, David Benedictus Rasmus. Nangwe Tabe, he always, on time, and that means give him the kudos for that. David, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Sabah. I don't think I'm open.
Okay, yes, let me try to open. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So thank you, Sabah, and it's always a pleasure to be here on the Nighttime Heat.
Okay, Dave. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate you being here tonight. We are waiting Moses Sandy. I'm sure Sandy will shortly come on. The man George Kennedy is on his way. He will shortly be in. Edwin Fambule as well. And of course, we're going to talk about our country, Liberia. Well, is there another leadership crisis in the House of Representatives in the making? Yesterday we saw online this news broke. It's a breaking news. Over 20 lawmakers, we heard, gathered. They went to a location, to talk about the removal, allegedly, the removal of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. We're going to read that document, and his deputy. Those 22, I think 22 or 23 lawmakers want to remove Speaker Richard Cole and his deputy. Well, how true is it? We're going to talk about that. And if at all that's a reality, what are they going to be for that lower house again? We all followed what happened during the fracas, the rancor involving the removal of former Speaker for Nancy Kofa. We saw how long that took, in fact, to be resolved. So we'll talk about that tonight. Also, tonight we'll be looking at or doing our own analysis of a Facebook post, from the spokesperson of the Liberian National Police, alleging undermining and misrepresentation. Well, what is it? What's happening? Why Mistress Cecilia G. Clark will go on social media to complain about undermining and misrepresentation? What was she talking about? So we're going to do our own analysis because it seems there's some rigmarole in amongst personalities amongst personnel of the LNP, the Liberia National Police, communication machinery. We got to talk about that tonight also. And I'm sure you're following this whole disagreement between the Press Union of Liberia and organizing committee of the Broadcast Media Awards. Well, we're going to talk about that. I'm sure we'll talk to the Press Union of Liberia president, and the head of the organizing committee. You also be on the line. We'll talk to the both of them to tell us what's happening. Is it that the awards are being commercialized? Like we are hearing, but what's happening? We'll also talk about that tonight. And then, we are in the festive season, right? A local daily reported today that that's crowded market, but cashless, cashless environment. So we'll be talking about the anxiety. Do we see more buyers than the sellers, or more sellers than the buyers? We'll talk about that. The anxiety, the excitement. Do we really see that? On the faces of our people. Well, those are our discussions tonight. And so just get glued to your radio or maybe your phone so you can watch online. Maybe you are in the diaspora who wanted to follow this show because it has as panelists, group of media, personalities, those that practicing the profession for quite a long time. They are on the show. So, wanted to watch the show again, just go online and tap Nighttime Heat on your Facebook page or Nighttime Heat on your YouTube channel. Also, you can watch the show, on the that's Prime FM Radio 105.5 page. You can also watch the show. So, gentlemen, let me welcome Edwin Famble. Mr. Famble, welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir. And I want to say good evening to my co-panelists and the rest of the public out there. Glad to be here again, as always.
Okay, let me welcome George Kennedy. George was not in last week. George is here now. Let me welcome him quickly to the program. George, welcome.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry I wasn't in last week. I had some serious busy schedule that I had to attend to, so I'm sorry that I couldn't be here. But we're here again tonight. I thank you guys for the show last week. It was good. Thank you.
All right. I don't know what's happening to Moses. Maybe he's not coming on video. Moses.
No, I was in the background.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't bring me. It's in the retard.
Okay. No. We're bringing you in now. Rest sure. We are bringing you in. Okay, Moses Sandy. Moses, welcome to the program as well. Welcome to this edition of the program, the Nighttime Heat, Moses. We're hoping that Moses can come on quickly to the program. We can welcome Moses to the program. But Dave, let's hear from you what's been on your mind before you climb the stairs to come up here.
Quite recently, something happened very interesting. Incident happened. Some journalists or reporters were invited by President Boakai to a meeting, to a conference. I mean, a matter of comparing notes with the president. And at the end of the day, there were a lot of murmurings among journalists, complaints among journalists that their expectations were not met, that the president called them and distributed $100 to each of the journalists. And some of the journalists are complaining that.
Let me just welcome Moses. I'm sure Moses would like to follow this. He's a journalist. Moses, welcome to the program quickly.
And some of the journalists.
Moses, welcome.
Moses, you on now or what?
Moses, welcome to the program. It seems Moses, you have to go off and come back on. Moses, you have to go off and come back on.
How can people living in the best part of the world have problem with? The other guys say you live in.
I mean, the people thinking about attacking, attacking Venezuela.
So, Dave, let's hear from you.
Yeah, okay. So, I follow a story where President Boakai met with some journalists. And I think the guys who covering the executive mansion or journalists from different media institutions, independent media institutions. And at the end of the day, there were complaints that, oh, the president called us. And we went there with high expectations, but our expectations, our hope was dashed. And I hope I died because at the end of the day, with all the long hours to stay there, we were giving $100 each, and that was inadequate. And that's a complaint of some of the journalists. I understand attended such a meeting with the president. Look, the media is not a market. News gathering is not about maybe you selling apples or you're making business. The president called a news conference. In fact, that was even wrong for the president to even giving money to journalists. And that could be considered or be interpreted as bribery, bribing or wanting to silence the media by giving them money. Well, but because of our tradition, I mean the gratuity, giving the journalists gratuity, what we call gratuity, or people call it cato. It's not about the president or whoever is or what a news conference is about showing appreciation to the journalists. So, gentlemen, you pay your way, don't go home. I know you pay your way. But if president gave everybody $100 each, okay, the president's office people distributed $100 each, and some journalists said they expected more than that. You're almost like you sounded like if the president had to pay you us. It was mandatory that the president paid you because you attended such a meeting, a conference
with the
media
president.
Conference
Okay.
with the president, like the President Ellen used to have the tete-a-tete with the media. Look, it's not compulsory that anyone who hosts a news conference or a meeting with a journalist pays money to the
Okay, all right.
journalist.
Okay, David. I think your concern
Yeah.
has already been noted.
Sure.
We're hoping that the press unit will be listening. Again, it's not something we don't want to defend it, but it's just rooted into the way media owners treat our fellow colleagues, especially reporters.
But someone, instead of discussing these things
But we'll talk
in the
about
background, people come to the public.
Yeah,
come
and
on radio.
we'll talk about
and
that.
discuss
We'll
it.
talk about that.
It's
Dave.
unfortunate.
Okay, let me welcome Moses Sandy quickly. Moses, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure to be back. I wish everyone Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, we wish you the same,
My
Moses.
Christmas
Yes,
come
Ed.
very-
Let's hear from you.
Yeah. So what is actually on my mind is basically this whole, again, is the whole media thing around the president's office or so. I think over time we've dropped the ball around the leaders of our country. I was actually follow a news outlet today about the president having a phone conversation with President Donald Trump, and it was out there on the news. That's not newsworthy. Presidents have conversation with their counterpart. Have we ever have the executive mansion press ever come up to tell us that President Walker had a phone call with President John Mahama of Ghana or President Marabio? We need to set the standard around our leaders. They did the same thing when the president had a phone call with Elon Musk. It was all over the place. When you do that now, then you start to bring the presidents, into the public, because you are not saying what was said in that stuff. Leave it. If it's something that will yield result, you leave it. And then fast forward. Again, around the same president cycle. Every small thing we do, the president should go and cut ribbon. Come on, man. We're the oldest country on the African continent. Why the president going to cut ribbon to one office building that was open? You build the office space, let the pastor go there and pray over it, you cut the ribbon and you move into the office. You carry two transformers somewhere, you take the president there to go and turn the lights on. Come on. Because I work for LEC, we have a statutory mandate to electrify Liberia. It is now every small thing you do, the president go there to go and cut ribbon. The president has other work to do. The president has a lot of functions to carry.
Okay. Your concerns are noted. Yeah.
I think just to buttress what he said, it is live right now. The president cutting ribbon to put lights on.
Street lights.
Street lights on from ELW Junction, RIA Road, this and that. Look,
We not get
Look,
serious.
I'm not lying to you. I think we should step up
We stepped up.
our games. Look, let the president focus on some of the things that when in the press he spoke with President Trump. These are some of the results from there. And, you know, this and that. We can send the energy minister there to go cut that ribbon or switch that light
So
on.
why the president, they call him, Mr. President, come call the why he can say no? Why he always going there?
Okay, so you know,
why blame the people that invite him? He should be the one to say, look, I'm above that level now. So
No, he
let
can't.
can go and cut the
Yeah, he
ribbon.
can't
But
get-
everything he want to be there.
So no, he's right. He's right. You know,
That's a
it's
checkpoint. I'm
balanced,
trying to
right?
set a checkpoint.
It should be balanced. I think the president's office, the president's handlers should try to not to shoo the president away from them, but to clearly say, look, this type of project, let this official go there. Hey, no, let this one be done here.
All right.
I think it's
Okay, I think your concern is noted. Let's hear from you, Moses Sandy. What's been trending before you came?
All right, thank you. A couple of things, three things I really want to speak to quickly. And I would like to begin with ourselves. I know this is something that's supposed to be behind the same discussion, but I think it's important to make it public. I am not sure sober this show is class B loaded. This is not class B loaded. I'm saying this to say that we have the right to disagree. That's what intellectualism is all about. So if someone is saying something that that doesn't align with your view, that does not mean that you become disruptive because the person is not saying it. I personally, when I come on this show, I come as a Liberian to speak nothing but the truth. If the government is in the right, the government is doing the right thing, I will promote the government. If the government is in the wrong, I will criticize the government. I'm not criticizing because I want for someone to call me to Liberia to give me a job. I'm not boasting, but I can't afford to come to Liberia to work for $7,000 a month. No, absolute nonsense. I can't do that. So let me come to this. Another thing that really stood out to me today is that I saw a press release from a group of people who call themselves executive mansion reporters. And I was rather flabbergasted reading that in the media. They said they had a meeting with the president. And after that, the president, the office of the president gave each of them $100. And they felt offended by that. They expected more. When I read that sober, I said to myself, the guys were being very ungrateful. Very, very ungrateful. And it rather spoke to me about the level at which journalism has declined in Liberia. When I was practicing sober, when you were in the field, David Tagbert, when you were actively gathering, Kennedy, when you were actively gathering and reporting news, we were not going in the public and telling people what people gave us as gratuity. For a group of journalists to go and even demand, oh, we expected more money. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's not the level at which journalism has reduced in Liberia. It is sad, man. We need to step up the game. We need to weed out all these messages. But again, the challenge we have in the media is extreme poverty. A lot of us are poor. People cannot afford. So they got all these squads masquerading as journalists, and they're just eroding the prestige of the profession. These are the two things that really stand out to me. Thank you.
All right, Moses. Thank you. Really appreciate your concern. Yes.
When we were at the Daily Observer, where I practiced throughout my career, look, once Mr. Best hears about you taking the thing you call Kado or graduated from anywhere, forget it, you fired. You fired.
I know about that.
So some of us, not all the game will plenty of game will turn it down. And when we wrote our stories as we heard and understood as they happen. Because you made mistake, you gone and he won't even play with you.
The same with us when we were at Star Radio. I mean, it was not, you couldn't take cartoon. You know, in fact, that's the reason why you're going to cover a story. Maybe let's assume at the mansion or wherever, the vehicle will carry you.
Yeah.
Right after your interview, you're back. It brings you back.
Yeah.
You're not even there to stand around and then waiting for cartoon. No. But you know, like Moses said, you know, it just shows the level of the decline of our profession. You know, I didn't see that press release, but it's too troubling for a group of journalists, you know, to pen that. You know, it was not the president's responsibility to give them transportation. Anyway, he was just being kind. So if the president gave you transportation, you know. But anyway, that's our profession. Let's play this video. The video that has to do with the first, I think the Minister of Finance. He did a clarity. You know, let's try to play that and do our analysis about that before we can go into our. In fact, 2 videos we need to play. So first, the video that has to do with the Minister of Finance. Let's do that video.
So that our people view how this project we're talking about has been subjected to critical analysis. People believe that the amount there we may not be able to achieve it, others believe that we will be able to achieve it, and it has been out there in the public with different views. One of such is the former minister, of course, have his own say, and his view has been on the social media, in different newspapers, radio stations. I'm talking about the Senator Amarkone. Yeah, so many people believe that you have not spoken to that and silence is a concern. Maybe you agree with me. I would like to know what's your position on that.
Let me say this. I have operated. There is an unwritten code of decorum, unwritten code of conduct that should exist between incumbents and former occupants of opposition. There's an unwritten code of conduct. Largely, in my professional life, in my government life, public life, I've operated by that code of conduct. I know how to write. I write a whole lot. Some of you know that. And as far as you know, I know how to talk also. But if you check my record, not just now, check, I've always given. I've been a successor, I've been a predecessor. I repeat. I've been a successor and I've been a predecessor. But for this position, I'm both a successor and predecessor. You know that? So I've given all my predecessors and my successors, based on what you take it, benefits of the doubt. Watch them and always wish them well. When I had concerns, this and that, I would try to transmit it to them, and so that, you know, to help. Always wish them well. So I operate by that code of conduct. Unwritten. Maybe some people say because I'm a diplomat. I was the country's first diplomat for almost 4 years. But before becoming Minister of Foreign Affairs, I've been operating by that code of conduct. So, but do I expect every other person to operate by that informal code of conduct? I don't. And so what if violated? I respect that right to violate too. But I would not violate it. I would not violate it. It's not because I cannot write. I can write. It's not because I cannot talk. I talk where it's necessary. And But I also enjoy debates. You know, sometimes I'm so busy to check why it's on Facebook or whatever book, and some people will tell me, "Did you check Facebook?" Like the other night, we were here up to almost 1 p.m. We work, we don't even check. Sometimes my mother will call me, she didn't get me for days. So folks will tell me the Facebook is very frenetic, you know, there's enough traffic. That's what I say. And this person said this person said that. Sometimes I don't chase these things. But in the envelope I look at they get their methods. I respect their methods. They go and give clarification. Sometimes when I engage you all, I give you some details. But I will continue to respect that unwritten code of conduct. But it's not because I cannot write. It's not because I cannot talk. So all those who think, let me give a caveat. All those who think that my respect of that written code of conduct means that you know, when you deviate, you say things, you know, that are unfair, you are right. No. But by and large, we expect unfair comments to be made in the budget process. Let me say this quite clearly. I tell my people miss.
Okay, so gentlemen, that's the Minister of Finance. I see my man Kennedy smiling. But Kennedy, let me begin with you. You listen to the Minister of Finance, and what he was doing there was a direct reaction to Amara Kone, because, like he said, there's this unwritten code of conduct, and he indicated that even when he was not in the seat, and maybe there was some issues that he had, he reached out to them behind. Then let's hear from you.
That's exactly what I said here the other time when I said Minister Kone, it is his right. But his job, the best job he would have done was to have engaged the team at the Ministry of Finance behind the scene. But just abruptly going, trying to critique, that was the response from Minister Gafwan is a direct rebuke of him. That look, while all you were rating, I would have responded stronger than that. But remember, you were there yesterday when I was at other places, and some of your mistakes, I came behind the scene and talked to you. But you today, you're going directly. That's one of the reasons why people didn't listen to Minister Kone's debate at the Senate. And he's my friend. I always said he's my friend. But if you try to do something to gain public sympathy, I know the both of you very brilliant. Gafwan knows the pen very well. I mean, Minister Kone cannot read better than Gafwan. I can say that in a way. I can say that in a way. The both of them strong. They are young people. We don't want to see them butting each other. We want to see them sharing ideas, the best ways to push the country forward. The both of themselves in the same positions. You know, I think Minister Gafwan was right to take it easy and to remind him that, look, we all here. I sit here. I'm here. Anytime, reach out to me. I will answer your questions. I will speak directly to your issue. But if you choose to go the other way, I'm holding a more responsible position. I'm not going to do the same, even though I'm capable of doing the same. So that's exactly what he did.
That was a very strong reaction. Okay, let's hear from you, Edwin.
But I think this debate still continuing on this whole issue of the budget, and I, like the minister rightly put it, you know, and I said it here, you know, the last time, that irrespective of the place where Minister Kone sits now as a senator, he once served at the Ministry of Finance, but he was not the best in that role. And now you have Minister Gafwan, who served in that role before, left, went to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, went to the African Development Bank, and he's back serving in that role. So he has some kind of understanding or so. We had the same debate here on Friday. Look, we have three branches of government, separate but coordinated. So if you serve in the role before as a minister, and you are now serving in the legislative branch of government, which is the first branch of government, and you see these challenges, I think it's just proper to meet with the team, because most of the people that are working in there are people that you know personally. You've worked with them before.
Yeah.
You can communicate with them behind the scene. Look, I think we need to look at this fiscal policy a little bit and see how best we can tweak it. I think there's a problem here. But when you leave that and go, on the social media to condemn your colleague and start saying that you don't believe that whatever they projected will be able to meet it, because of XYZ, then that's showmanship. You're trying to show that you know more than the people who are there right now. And we need to transcend beyond this. We're running a country. If the Bwaka government succeed, it means the entire government, the legislature, everybody succeed. If the Bwaka government fails, it means everybody, including you, the legislature, has failed. So we need to look at it from this standpoint and give each other support rather than us sitting back and trying to backstab other people because you feel or you felt that you're supposed to have the authority to decide who manages the fiscal affairs because you were supportive during the campaign period. We've passed that stage.
Okay.
We need to move forward.
Dave, you listen to...
the guys have said it all. The guys are experts. Was especially the councillor.
Let's see.
The guys have said it all. This shouldn't be a personality contest.
Okay.
Yes, it should be about where Liberia goes from here. Every Liberian is making his or own contribution. And Americans served in that position before. And as far as we're concerned, he did his best. Though there were challenges, he did his best. And, during his time, there was a popular saying about, budget shortfall. In fact, some people even gave him the name budget shortfall. Those are the challenges of that time. Maybe because of the circumstances at that time, that's why he had those, those challenges of budget shortfall. That doesn't mean that he didn't know what to do at that time. And not because of his ignorance that we had a problem of budget shortfall, but because of the circumstances or the situation at that particular time. He played a role. Now it's Gafwan's time. I think it's not the first time Gafwan served as Minister of Finance. And besides that, Gafwan is just fresh from the African Development Bank. That shows how knowledgeable he is about these financial things. So if Amra Kone wants to make his contribution, maybe in the interest of the country, maybe wanting to help Gafwan in his work, I think he should do it with the best of respect. Not with the mindset of disparaging Gafwan or creating the impression in the minds of the ordinary people that Gafwan doesn't know what he's doing, and Amra Kone knows his best. But maybe Amra Kone has good intention in terms of raising all the issues he raises. Maybe because he's not raising them, he's not channeling his views or concerns, through the appropriate conduits. Maybe that's what raising the concern.
Okay.
Almost like he's like he tried to disparage Gafwan.
Just imagine.
That he doesn't know why
he said redo the entire budget.
He say that means that you're creating an impression that he doesn't know it, you know it. So I think that is where the problem is coming from. And no matter what good intentions he must have, but the channeling of his views is what is wrong.
Okay, Moses, let's hear from you. Sandy, you listen to the
I'm listening to everybody. This is the angle from which I would like to come. I like the disposition by Minister Gafwan ahead. I'm not going to go into a public debate. Yes, in a professional environment, most of us do that. When an issue come out, you take the phone or you send a private email to your colleague. This is what I have noticed. Can you please correct this? That also depends on the relationship that you have with the person. Some people, when you identify their errors, they become dismissive. Oh man, don't listen to that man. We don't know the detail. I don't know the details in terms of the reciprocity, the love relationship these two individuals have. So I would now want to say, well, the mode which Senator Corner is using, it is either appropriate or not appropriate. But what I would like to say is that in a professional environment, sometimes it's very important to reach out. When you make the attempts and the person doesn't, then you can go public. It's
Okay.
like some people quickly. It's like some people. Someone raised an issue and everybody is on the general email. If you want to respond and correct something in there, respond only to the individual that email emanated from. You don't want everybody getting to know that you're trying to correct this problem. So that's what I would say. Sometimes it's good to look at. I mean, it's not only good to look at the mode, but it's also good to look at the message that the person is conveying. Thank
Okay. You spoken. Let's welcome Mr. Oliver Weiser to the program quickly. Mr. Weiser from the UAE, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for inviting me to the show. Let me say, panelists.
Okay. I don't know whether you listened to the reaction of the Minister of Finance to Senator Amara Corner, so that we can get your take likewise.
Well, I've not been following the show. I just came on anyway.
Just joined. Okay. So let's leave it at that. Let that pass you, and let's play the second video. The second video quickly.
So what folks said. Where the Ministry of Gender, I think in recent times, as you are aware that the Ministry of Gender have a resolution with a lot of some partners.
Gentlemen, the video is basically about the government's effort to remove the kids off the streets. Whether it's well tailored, whether it's well organized, let's discuss it and help inform our government. So Moses, let's begin with you when it comes to that.
Yeah, look, I think this is where my professional expertise really comes in. As a clinical social worker, a policy analyst, when you deal with social problems, it's good to understand the causation of the problem. It is good to have our kids off the street because there are too many risks associated with that. But what is the causation, or what are the causation of this problem? Most of these kids come from homes where the parents lack the resources. We have no safety network in the country. It's not a developed society where the state can help needy families. In Liberia, if you don't have it, you live there, you know it better than I do. If you don't have it, you don't have relatives, you're on your own. So as a result, you have a lot of young people who have been parentified. They're taking on the role of earning living for the parents. Now, as a ministry, what do you do in solving this problem? A lot of community engagement, radio programs, television programs talking about it, the safety risks associated with having your kids in the school, the benefits of having them in school. The more you do that, you educate the people, you let the people learn more about this policy than before you begin to enforce. But unfortunately for us in Liberia, we have a lot of people who are in managerial positions that got no clue. They have never led even one or two presidents before. They do not know what policies are. So they act on their impulses. Somebody just wake up in the morning and say, oh, you know, they'll go to real today and clear all the people. So you clear all the kids, where do you take them to? To police station? Do you incarcerate them? Do you have the resources? This problem we're talking about is not unique to red light. You go Douala, the kids are there. You go Kakata, the kids are there. So it is pervasive. It is a problem that affecting the entire country. You need to figure out the appropriate mechanism how to resolve the problem. What they did today is what we call putting a band-aid over the problem, a temporary relief. You remove the case today, tomorrow they come right back. 2-3 days they're going to come right back. The parents, you charge them fine. The parents do not have the money because they are poor. That's why the kids are in the street. So when we modify behavior, when you take one behavior away, you must put in another behavior as a replacement. So I think the ministry didn't do a good job.
Okay. All right, Moses, let's hear from David Benedictus Rasmus Namutawe.
Sometimes you sound like you're obliged to call all the names. No, you're now.
Please go ahead.
No, somebody you're now obliged.
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead. Don't distract us here. You call your name. You can call you the name.
The other time you call your name, I've been saying you call your phone name.
No, actually, on a serious note, look, man, I feel sorry for many of the kids that are always accompanying the blind people.
Mm-hmm.
And I sometimes wonder whether the kids are in school. Because from morning to the evening hours, the kids are still accompanying those blind people. And it's almost like the children selling in the streets. The last time I came across a little girl selling, how they call the things up. She was selling toothpick and you know, I'm a country boy. That thing they use to clean the ear, how do they call it?
Cotton ball.
Cotton ball. You know, I just came from Grances. So,
then you speaking somebody from America. Let's go. So you manufacture your species.
Cotton ball. Yeah. She was selling cotton ball. I said, little girl, what's her name? She said, she has a very beautiful name, Maria. He said, Maria, oh, your name is Maria. I said, wow, you have a beautiful name. Who gave you that name? She said, my grandmother. I said, what are you selling for? He said, oh, I'm selling for my auntie. Auntie, you know. So I didn't want to push her to the wall, whether she knows what auntie is and what stepmother and this and that. But I asked her whether she was going to school. She said, no, I'm not going to school. I can sell. I said, when do you come to sell? When do you start selling? She said she starts selling maybe about 7, 8 o'clock. And now I was very, concerned. So I was asking a lot of questions. So how do you start the day? Do you eat something in the morning? You say, oh yeah, I can eat, sometimes my auntie can buy bread and give you tea and drink. Yeah, okay.
And so fast forward.
Mm-hmm. So I said, do you go to school? So no, I don't go to my auntie said I'm away small. I'll go to school. I said, you been in Murray, you grew in Murray. So no, my auntie brought me from Topmanburg, from Bombay County. So I'm staying with her. And if you listen to her story, is the same story of many other children in this in this Monrovia town. The people go out in the rural areas and bring these kids and use them as breadwinners. If the government is telling them to leave the street, what option does the government have? It's not a matter of telling the parents to stop using the kids to stay in the street. So if it's and that's what most parents or families depend on for the kids to go out there, sell, bring back money, and so they can put bread on the table. So if the government is stopping that, what alternative is the government providing? What alternative? Okay, let the kids stop selling, and if they stop selling, their parents wouldn't have a meal. They will have meal for the day or meal for the next few days coming. So what is the alternative? What suggestion? What alternative is the government providing? Almost like telling people, say, no, stop selling in the street. Leave the street, stop selling. What alternative do you have? If they leave the street, where do they go to sell to survive? There's similar thing like that.
Ed.
So I think this whole thing is far, far belated. If I can recall, President Salih started this whole initiative on the Ministry of Gender. It was Gender and Social Welfare, and then later it became Ministry of Gender, Children, and whatever it is. But I think the Ministry of Gender needs to be overhauled.
I can remember the superintendent, the then superintendent of Montserrat County,
Grace
Bond.
Yes,
she was heading that. Yeah.
I think we need to rethink about the Ministry of Gender. What function does it have to do? Because over time, I've seen people just sitting in that ministry and just taking pay. The biggest thing you see them running behind is I'd call it or persistent non-support. If somebody have a child by a lady, she goes there to complain. They call the person. But like Brother Moses Sunday said, what are the policies have we put in place? It's getting scary. Because these children that you see walking between the cars are the future leaders of this country.
Surely.
I had an encounter on Saturday. I was coming from Dupo Road, right to the red light. We stopped, and there was this little beautiful girl who was just walking between the cars and begging for money. So I put the glass down, and I took her $200 and gave it to her. I said, but why are your parents? Are you going to school? She said, no, uncle. That little girl should be between 10 to 11 years old. And I said to myself, the future of this child is rolling away. When she reached the age of 12, 13, 14, 15, men start to take advantage of her. Why do we have a leader sit there to allow these things to happen? We have a very small population. Like Brother Sandy said, what safe home are you building to put these children in? So you take them from the street to where are you going to put them? You keep them after a few days, they go back to the same parents, and the parents send them back in the street. Some of these kids are working with blind people. The blind guys are standing on the side, or the blind lady is standing on the side, and the children have to go in between the cars to beg. All because the group of 77 that's supposed to take care of these blind people not properly functioning. So they have to use these kids. And again, people bringing these kids from the interior because the people who are living there want the children to have a better future. So we need to start opening up the country. We need to put programs in place that if there is a school in the village, that school should be compared to the school in Monrovia, so that Manesse will not send her little child to come and live in Monrovia to be selling for somebody. At the end of the day, that child get molested, and that child who future just go in the rain. Yeah, we need to work on these things.
I agree with you. Ed, not Ed, but George, let's hear from you.
The initiative by the Ministry of Gender is not bad, but I first of all look at their budget. How much do they have in the budget? Because this is it should be a nationwide exercise. Mm-hmm. And it's not just one budget year. It should be something that will exist going forward. How much do they have? How many children are there that they took stock of that probably on the street? What's the kind of report that they have? Mm-hmm. Looking at Monrovia, they say in Monrovia we are about 2 million people here, but 100 or 200,000 cases. This kind of report to see where are you going to place them if you take them from the street? Do you have holding place for them? Do you have the resources to maintain them? The answer to these questions, just no.
No.
So as much as the idea is good, I think planning and financing better. You see, the reason why Madam Salif administration did not succeed in getting those children off the street is because of some of these questions that we're asking, some of the things that Sandy raised, some of the things that like that other colleagues here raised. Those issues were never addressed prior to their actions. So they couldn't succeed. Look, Mr. Sandy, one time on Benson Street, right around Zion campus, a little child around 11, 12-year-old girl, she had a chicken egg selling. She stumped her toes and the bucket wasted almost $800 chicken egg. Everything flashed on the ground, spot. She stood up, she started crying. That day I have 500. All the people that are passing, I raised money for them to reach to the 800. I gave it to her to go home because she said she had gone home or anything was going to wait for her. You see, so that's the type of things the children face.
Yes, I think I agree with all of you. The government needs to do, the government needs to organize it very well. Let's do a thorough, investigation, or due diligence of how many kids do we know are in the streets. And like someone said, it's not just unique to Monrovia.
Yeah.
If you left from there, you went to Buchanan, you see
everywhere,
kids in the streets, every part of the country.
Yeah.
So no, you can't do it in a haphazard manner like they've started doing it now. You just take few individuals from general ministry, you send them to Red Light, let them go and grab the kids. Where are you taking them? Where is their home that you've built for them?
How many general officers
I
you have?
think again, President Boyka is doing well. I think he got good intention, but he needs to hold his lieutenants' feet to the fire. When these sort of policies or these policy decisions are made, they should be well organized in terms of the implementation should be well organized. It's not just doing it in the most slapdash manner, and at the end of the day, you don't succeed because the trend or the route now that they are taking, at the end of the day, the program may be a flop. Like we said, it started under the leadership of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and it didn't go anywhere. It was not successful. So if you want to succeed in trying to get the kids off the street, organize it very well. Yeah, it's something that all of us, we acknowledge. All of us want that to happen. We don't want to see the children in the street, but you can do it in the
children in the rural areas.
Manner.
The children in the rural areas are being used differently. They are being used to farms. To heavy loads from one distance to the other. So they don't have the kind of open street they were poor and they're going to the street, but they are being used for other
farming activities.
Yeah,
surely.
Other age children.
Okay, let's hear from Oliver quickly. Oliver, let's hear from you concerning this.
Yeah, so you see, it is so strange in Liberia, the way people do things. You cannot just get children from the street without proper laws. So why are you carrying the children, and for how long? So honestly speaking, we are all saying the same thing. In my opinion, it doesn't just make sense at this particular time. Manatali started that thing, it didn't work because it was not supported by laws, and there was no proper program for that. Like for example, where I am, you don't see children anywhere in the street. There are strict laws. Parents pay heavy fine. Children are taken if you don't take care of your children in public spaces. So the parents have to get involved. But again, Liberia is a very poor society. Most of the homes are not even in fence. You can't keep the children there. Some of the family members are not working. The children are used by their parents to get food. So, where do you keep them? It doesn't just make sense. Let us forget about the children, because there should be laws that will ban children from going to the streets. Now, one ministry chasing the children everywhere. Honestly speaking.
Okay.
Doesn't listen.
Right. Okay. I think we'll have to transition quickly. You're listening to the night. Yes, Moses. Yeah, quickly.
So Yeah, a few seconds. I want you to give me. And look, this is what I would like to say. Every government, the world over, the role of the government is to provide for those who cannot fend for themselves, and children fall in that category. Like in the United States where I live. Let me use myself as an example. If my daughter went to school, right now it's winter time. If my daughter went to school without a winter jacket, the school social worker will call me immediately. Oh, Mr. Sandy, we see that your daughter doesn't have a winter jacket. It means that her safety is in danger. What they're going to do? They're going to call the Department of Human Services. They will come to my house. They will do a walkthrough to see what is happening in that house. Am I providing the basic needs? If it is established that I am not providing the needs for my kids, all my kids will be removed and put into foster care. The state will pay funding. They will pay people to care for them. They will make me go through a lot of training that will hold me accountable. But again, we cannot compare the two countries because we have serious hardship back home. I think what we need to do, like Mr. Farmer has said, look, gentlemen, as a country, when you're planning your national budget, there are key sectors of the country: education, childcare, like the Ministry of Gender. That place should be well funded. Programs for children, programs for the elderly, that the Ministry of Health, Social Services, the elderly, those people should have what? Programs like lay out. The people with physical and mental health disabilities. That is where you invest the money because these people need help. But we don't do that. We take all our money and buy $45,000 for people. Buy vehicles for people who go to the legislature, or they do what? They argue. They insult one another. Don't produce anything.
Okay.
They spend all the money. So as a government, we rather need to get back to the drawing table and figure out our priorities. Our priorities. What do we want? That's the only way forward. Other than that, my brother, we make no progress.
All right, thank you, Moses. Thank you. Let's try to transition. You're listening to the Nighttime Heat, rated on Pram FM 105.5. This program is also been relayed by Radio Gegeman in Nimba County, Kwatika de Bon County, and of course, the Radio Wulagisi in Lufa County. We are streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. That's the Nighttime Heat, Facebook and YouTube channel. We want you to share the show so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow on what's happening tonight on the show. Gentlemen, we are hearing about a new crisis that could likely again develop in the House of Representatives over the leadership of the House. Let's try to read what we have. This information broke yesterday about some 21 lawmakers who understand have been meeting to remove Speaker Rachel Cohn. Let me read this quickly. And then we can talk about that. Written by Yanti Gennaro Samuel Toba. 22 lawmakers met to seek removal of Speaker and Deputy Speaker. Reports reaching us indicate that at least 22 lawmakers met in the police academy community today, that's yesterday, to discuss plans aimed at removing the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. According to sources, the meeting brought together several representatives from the majority bloc who have now aligned with members of the minority bloc over what they described as growing concerns about leadership and accountability within the House. The sources disclosed that the lawmakers have agreed to jointly sign a 10-count resolution calling for the removal of the following officials: the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Deputy Speaker, 4 members of the Ways, Means, and Finance Committee, 1 member of the Rules and Order Committee. It is further reported that the 22 aggrieved lawmakers, most of whom belong to the majority bloc loyal to Speaker Rachel Cohn, cited several reasons for that decision. These include alleged lack of accountability, poor and irresponsible leadership, marginalization of members, usurpation of committee functions, and alleged financial malpractices, among others. As part of the agreed actions, the lawmakers have resolved to initially boycott the president's upcoming State of the Nation address, the SONA. They have also agreed to deny Speaker Cohn's quorum in future sittings of the House as a means of pressing their demands. More to come. Gentlemen, that's the information that been trending on social media and in fact other mainstream media. This is just how we heard about the removal of Fonante Kofa. And at the end of the day, it became a reality. Today, Fonante is a former speaker. Now we are hearing similar story about the removal of Rachel Cohn, certain couple of issues, accountability, poor leadership, and all of that, irresponsible leadership as well. Let me get your take, Fumble. What do you think could likely happen? Whether this is true or not?
Well, the legislature is a political theater. So the politics that play in there, and if you are a leader within any of those houses, you have to play the politics well. Mm-hmm. If you don't play the politics well, there could be blocks that start building up against you. And if you cannot diffuse that blocks, it could lead to you being ousted from the position. Mm-hmm. Because mind you now, they are all elected representatives. They are all equals under our law. It's just because the law says that at a given point in time, they should elect one person to serve as speaker and another as deputy speaker. But again, these are political things that happen in the political theater.
But this one is coming too soon at a point.
Well, it is not too soon, because even when you look at the issue of Fonante Kofa, it started even that earlier, because there are people that have their own, interest in the leadership. There are people who were expecting certain stuff within the leadership. They didn't get it, So those people they've been building up that fuse against the leadership. Now, the speaker have to now have the negotiation skill to reach across the aisle to everyone or to the majority member and say, look, yes, I've not been able to do this, but we can all work, in the betterment of trying to move this place forward. Mm-hmm. I heard this thing because there has been even some murmuring within the lower house, even the way these bills have been passed, that actually some of the instruments that go before the lower house is not properly debated. They feel that the speaker is actually using his proximity to the executive to be able to, push these things through, which of course I think is wrong. And every time he goes out, he keeps saying, I'm the regime speaker. I think it's also drawing a dark cloud over the legislature. You are the speaker of the legislature, irrespective of whether you support the regime. You don't need to keep reminding people that you are the regime speaker, because when you do that, then you break in the legislature in the mind of what our brother Moses always said, being rubber stamp. Mm-hmm. You can support the regime, but you can be actually objective on issues that relate to the governance structure of our country.
Now, let me hold you there and come to Mr. Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy, you heard reasons that they cited for which they want to allegedly remove the speaker and his deputy. We've been following the leadership of Speaker Cohn since he took over. I'm sure you've been reading a couple of local dailies as well and hearing from individuals within that block or in the legislature. Do you think those reasons are very genuine reasons to want to again put the house in a rancor and in confusion?
You see, these reasons are always the reasons that existed in the past that led to the removal of other speakers. So while it was Snow, while it was Tyler, so while it was Fonati Kofa, that the same reasons. So it means that the speakership, when you get there, you become speaker. You should be 7 of your people because you are co-equal. You guys are equal, you get first among equals. So what you need to do is to serve well. The best speaker I saw in our time really was Tyler, who really had a house together. That even his removal led to the accusation against the Chinese government in Liberia. And even the former president said it wasn't easy to remove him. His colleagues stuck behind him because of the way he led them. So I think what I observe about Speaker Coon is, he's showing his muscle too much. I think he should show leadership, lead well. One time we had this discussion when the Secretary General of the Liberal Council of Churches was here. He said, look, they reach out to the leadership to reach out to the minority of blacks so they can do some power sharing. And, reach out to your colleagues. The whole thing is about what committee you on, which one. You cannot have one person on several committees and then leave the others out. So all these things can bring confusion. So I think Speaker Coon need to... the group where you're showing or too much.
No.
Okay, sorry, sir. Sorry, I'll retract. But my man going on nationwide tour and all, he in the Southeast right now.
Yeah.
Why his colleagues back here? Even though the budget has passed, you are close to the legislature, it's true. But man, you got some crisis on hand.
Okay.
Hold your colleagues together.
Okay, let me. Dave, do you think we could see a replay of the situation that occurred a few months ago involving former Speaker Kofa? Do you see a replay that may likely play out any moment from now?
The first thing, the journalist who reporting this is quoting sources. So I'm not sure of the authenticity of what he's reporting. He did not say he was present at the meeting where these lawmakers are deciding to remove Speaker Coon. So he quoted sources because he was not there. Obviously, he was not there.
But let us not forget that when the issue of Fonati was popping up, people were quoting sources.
It started from sources. I know. So not all the time when people quote sources can be the truth. So I'm only raising this to put myself on the safe side that what Nyanti is reporting is not authenticated because he was not at the particular meeting he talked about in Nano Police Academy community where they decided this. Well, howbeit, sometimes we often say that when there's smoke,
there's fire.
There's fire. So the fact that he can report that, because Moses Nyanti Toba is one of the leading reporters at the Capitol building, who people always make reference to when it comes to happenings on Capitol Hill. And there were so many reasons why Fonati Kofa was ejected from power. And those reasons, some of the reasons are administrative, I don't know how to call it, ineptitude. Administrative ineptitude, corruption, and other reasons he gave.
Irresponsible leadership.
Irresponsible leadership. And maybe they're similar to the say in Richard Namwekon. For example, look, being the Speaker of the House of Representatives means that you are the face of the Liberian legislature. And that means that you may not have an impeccable character, but you may have a character that is close to impeccability.
Mhm.
Hmm? When you have a Richard Namakon as a speaker, the first thing he declares himself as a regime speaker. That is a manners for him.
Mhm.
Being a regime speaker, you're telling the people that you can accept anything that comes from the executive mansion. That questions your credibility. There's a Richard Namakon whose wife, whether ex or current wife, took to court or threatening or taking to court for abandoning the party or cheating her of their properties. There's a Richard Namakon whose name is trending in the media of carrying of being accompanied on a nationwide tour
By a spouse.
by a spouse, though he has a wife, and we haven't heard. No, Sabo. I'm serious, yeah.
You just trying to get dig into his files, that's all.
So I'm just going to the facts. There's a Richard Namakon who's traveling with a spouse, who boasted said, that, "Oh, he's my spouse." Whether he has divorced his wife or not, but he's traveling with a spouse. So that means these if you are that kind of echelon of power
Mhm.
and your name is dragged into the mud in this manner, then there's a concern. Then the concern, and there are other people who are that legislature who are so level-minded or level-headed until say, look, what the kind of characteristics or the kind of character that the speaker is, he can't continue to be our speaker.
We can allow managers to lead us.
We can allow.
Okay, let me hold you there quickly. And Oliver, let's hear from you, Mr. Wilson.
Yeah, so the legislature has become a house or a place for a continuous conflict. You know, from Edwin Mervyn Snow, Ellis Tyler, Jay Fonatikofa, now to Speaker Kung, you know, it is just a continuous fight among people who claim to be lawmakers. But as Formula said, it is a political theater. They will have to always go there and try to show muscles, you know, of what they know and what they think they can do. But as it stands, if they have real reasons why they should remove Speaker Kung, then I think it is just for them to do that, because we sat here and we saw how Jay Vonati Kofa was removed. So it is not anything so strange to that house. So we wait to see how it unfolds, because my man Tagba said it remains a speculation for now. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you. Moses, before we come to you, let me just read this again, read this portion of the press statement that we are making reference to. It is further reported that the 22 aggrieved lawmakers, most of whom belong to the majority bloc, loyal to Speaker Rachel Kung, cited several reasons for that decision. Those reasons include alleged lack of accountability, poor and irresponsible leadership, marginalization of members, usurpation of committee functions, and alleged financial. Moses, all of these reasons that they listed or they attacked allegedly, they are not far from the reasons for which the former speaker was removed. So
Yeah, absolutely right.
they are not far. So are we saying that it is one thing to have a new leadership and another thing to see a change of that new leadership, a change in attitude and change in behavior? Let's hear from you.
But look, friends, let me say that I feel vindicated. And thank you so much, my brother Famulet. All of you, David Tagbert, Mr. Kennedy, you guys have done remarkably well today. I've always told you that you have a compromised House of Representatives. And you guys honestly spoke to how compromised the House of Representatives is. Because like Mr. Famula said, if you have a speaker who goes around referring to himself as regime speaker, whatever he does will not be seen objectively. People will say, oh, well, you did it because he's a regime speaker. And that's what happened. Another thing I want to speak to quickly is that in behavior modification, there's what we call reinforcing negative behavior. It meaning that when you reward people for doing bad things, when you give in to demands, unnecessary demands, only because people want to get their way, that becomes a norm. It becomes an acceptable practice. And that is what we have in the legislature. The illegal removal of speakers is not unique to Kofa. Many of you went back as far as Edwin Snow. He was removed. Tyler was removed. Kofa was removed. And now people are talking about Richard Coon. The reasons they are giving today are the same reasons that they gave years back ago. Because they have always believed and continue to believe that, look, few of us can get together and resist, we'll get our way. That is what happened. You're not going to have a perfect leadership because nobody is a perfect being. We all are liable to making mistakes. I do understand and I agree, like Mr. Family said, that Mr. Coon or Speaker Coon is an autocrat. He's a dictator. He comes across as very aggressive and all of that. He has problems with accountability. And like Mr. Tagba said, you can be the third most powerful person in the country and you have character problems. You know, so these are all legitimate reasons. But hey, we have taught the people that if you want to get your way, just raise your voice, you will get your way. Obviously, from what we are hearing, if it is true, and Mr. Tagba, let me say this, you talk about the reporter quoting sources. In journalism, we quote sources.
Yeah.
Because we don't make stories. So we quote sources. The sources can either be right or wrong. So because the guy is quoting sources, we can't quickly dismiss what he reported. All we can say, we hope that what he reported is either the truth or not.
You're quite correct, Moses.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, gentlemen,
And mind you, some of the sources could be the leaders of that coup, the key
yeah,
players
it's
of that
possible.
coup.
Yeah, it's
But
possible.
you're not going to name them because
No.
confidentiality yes,
Matters a
we
lot.
generally respect confidentiality.
Gentlemen, this is where this is the aspect of this release that stood out to me. And let me read this so that we look at it. What the executive or the head of the executive, who is the president, what he needs to come in now, especially with this report. As part of the agreed actions, the lawmakers have resolved to initially boycott the president's upcoming State of the Nation address sooner. They have also agreed to deny Speaker Coon a quorum in future sittings of the House as a means of pressing their demands. Now, gentlemen, we've got the sooner that is coming up in
In
few weeks
January.
from now.
In January, yeah.
Now, let's begin with you. You are studying law on this program. You are the legal mind. With this plan by the aggrieved lawmakers that they may likely boycott the SONA, if maybe apparently they have made some demands and demands have not been met yet, and so they went, according to the report, they held a meeting to remove the speaker and the deputy speaker. If I thought that they've decided to do so, would that have any effect on the SONA?
Yeah, if they are in the majority, because for there to be a SONA, there should be a quorum, because it is a legislative function where the president is invited to come and give the state of affairs of the nation to the people's representative, which is the both houses. Now, when they sit in section, the speaker preside. So if the speaker of the legislature loses the authority to preside, it means that there is a problem, because I've not seen in of
So
our
then
history.
that problem
where
means that the
pro tem-
president will not be able to deliver the SONA?
Of course, because I've not seen, except where the deputy speaker can take over, but again, they have to have a quorum, meaning that the both houses have to meet in joint section, and there should be a quorum. So the fear here would be, can they be able to convince the majority black to say that boycott the section? That's the difficult challenge for the black that is actually opposing the speaker also, because to be able to get all of your colleagues together, at this particular point in time, is going to be difficult. So right now, I don't see it as a challenge for the president's SONA, but in order to be able to mitigate some of these challenges going in the future, I think the president himself don't need to get involved, because we keep saying that there are three separate branches of the government, but the president can have some backdoor channels to find out what is the leadership crisis in the legislature, so that it doesn't impede the function of the government going forward. Because with the SONA, like I keep saying, I don't think they will reach that part, because the both houses have to meet, and then there should be a quorum.
Okay.
Meaning that there should be, majority in there to be able to carry out that function.
Edwin, I can remember the president appointed Sando Johnson, right, as legislative liaison. Okay, between the mansion and the legislature. You see, that's where Sando Johnson needs to come in now.
Yes, and in addition to, I just wanted to make I covered the legislature for a while. I don't think it is constitutionally mandatory for the president to appear at the Capitol to deliver the SONA.
Well,
I'm not a lawyer.
It's not constitutional.
No, it is.
I don't.
It is.
Yes, I said, well, somebody can put that to me.
Is it the Constitution?
They say you can label the SONA. It's a legislative function.
On the fourth working month.
On the fourth working month.
But they didn't spell out
the law mandates that you have to go. That is where I don't know.
No, the Constitution does not manage that. That the president has to go to the legislature, and that's why it's a legislative function.
It mandated the Constitution.
It is a legislative function.
Now,
so they have to first of all call a quorum before the president can even appear.
Now,
so it's a legislative function.
Yeah,
it is not an executive function.
Fine. So it is a legislative function. So in that case, even if there is a crisis, the president can stay at the executive mansion, deliver the speech, and give copies to each lawmakers of the state of the nation.
Is that allowable?
Yeah, it's allowed.
Well,
it worked even across the world, even in the Great United States, it worked during the crisis. During
that's
a different issue.
No, listen, it works. It works, right?
Someone?
Because I want to see the law, right? Because for me, those are some of the issues that sometimes when you used to come with acts, and we never really get the kind of answers that we wanted.
Okay.
But the president's legislative president, as you asked, needs to work harder. I think he needs to be supported more. He needs to be given the kind of backing, the kind of support to really move into lobby, and to make sure that stability remains on Capitol Hill until the president can go there and then do his SONA. But I really need to be corrected. I mean, I'm not very definite about the constitutional aspect, because I'm not a lawyer.
They say yes. I did ask a question. Is it mandatory?
It is. It's
for the president to deliver or present his State of the Nation address at the legislature. They say yes. It is mandatory for the president of Liberia to deliver the State of the Nation address, SONA, annually, as required by Article 58 of the Liberian Constitution.
No, but his concern is what are
it's mandatory for him to be present at the Capitol.
We mandate the president to report to the legislature on the state of the republic and
to report.
No.
Yeah.
So it
to
means
report to go there in person, to be present. That's a totally different thing. And if today one time we hardly at the Capitol reporters.
Chief.
Let me say this.
Constitutional function
are you there?
given to the legislature. Inauguration is a legislative function. It means that the both houses have to be seated. In fact, in some cases, they have to even call roll. They have to even raise the motion for them to have section. And then after that, the president will be sworn in. Now, that's why the legislature is the first that elects its leadership before there's an inauguration. Now, for the purpose of the SONA is for the president to give his State of the Nation's address on the economy, on the way of on the security and every aspect to the people legislature. So that's why it's a legislative function. It is not even an executive function.
So it means that you can't sit
It means
anywhere.
that you can sit anywhere.
You have to go to the vote. Okay.
go to the
Let's hear from you, Moses. Let's hear your thoughts on this.
Well, look, I am not a student of law.
Mr.
On
Sandy?
this one, yeah, are you there? Do you hear me? Are you hearing me?
You have to go
Hello?
off and come back on.
Oh my God. Okay, all right.
Yeah, let's hear from you quickly. You gone? Okay. Dave, you spoke already on that?
Yeah, he spoke.
Okay.
The guy.
Oliver.
Yeah, I haven't spoken.
Yes, so if
Oliver, the question is, if let's assume that what we are hearing is true, and the lawmakers decided to remove their speaker and their deputy speaker, and that noise is on, SONA is just a few weeks from now. Will that affect SONA?
oh yeah, sure, it will do. Most especially if Speaker Kun and the president cannot come in to ensure that that house is stable, it would definitely affect the delivery of the SONA, because as everyone has already said, Article 58 of the 1986 Constitution demands that the president deliver the SONA to the legislature, and the home of that body is the Capitol building. So the president cannot say anywhere else to deliver the SONA. And so if Speaker Kun is hearing this, he needs to start working very fast to see how he can marry with colleagues and then put them together in order to avoid the SONA being boycotted. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Let's hear from you, Dave, before we can go to Moses. Moses, welcome back to the program.
I hear from Moses.
Okay, Moses.
Yeah, do you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah,
Okay, so this is what I would like to say. I say I'm not a student of law, but as a former legislative reporter, I think I concur with what Mr. Famula and other of you have said. The State of the Nation is a legislative function. That's why it is stated that in order for the president to deliver, there got to be a joint session. The Senate and the House will convene. And when they convene, who presides? The Speaker. That's why, in keeping with our laws, the Speaker is considered the head of the legislature. So the Speaker presides, the session is called to order. The president cannot sit in the executive mansion and speak to them. No, there got to be a session. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay, let me read this quickly. Let me read. It seems that what we are hearing may likely have some truism. Dr. Thomas Nimni,
Countryman.
aka Original Countryman Rights. The regime speaker will be removed. We will work with the initial 22 lawmakers who are initiating the fight.
In what capacity is he speaking?
I'm coming now.
As
We
opposition.
need to be serious in this country, loving to each other. So, gentlemen, this whole thing about the speaker removal, I'm sure shortly will transition. Though we've been hearing it, in the grapevine, but it didn't come to fruition for us to hear about lawmakers are meeting to remove him until this revelation by Mandela Cooper, was made about, I'm traveling with my spouse. Do you think this also has given the lawmakers who want to remove him, he has given them the ground as well, because they know basically about the family crisis of the speaker. Then with Mandela coming in again, do you think they has also given root to that, David?
Yes, of course. Yes, it's a matter of integrity, credibility. It's a matter of you as the Speaker of the House of Representatives, you are the face of the legislature, as I said initially. And getting yourself involved with relationship or with a relationship that is not legally supported, because after all,
Man went to Koto, got married in Koto. That's what we heard.
yeah, he went to court, he married there. Did
So
he
I
go
say-
back to the court to divorce?
I mean, this woman, Mandela Kopo.
Mandela Cooper went to
Yeah,
court
that's what we
and
heard.
married.
That's what we heard.
So it's so, but
So you will say, you get it?
have you also heard?
No, that's what you heard, but it's
No,
not.
no,
it's
that's
not-
what you heard. Have we also heard that before even going to the court to get married,
He divorced
Mandela,
his previous wife?
did he divorce his previous wife?
That's what we heard.
I think it's called. I mean, you are the lawyer. I think they call it bigamy, right?
Bigamy, yeah.
And they're called bigamy. You can be married and you can be married legally, then marry another woman, marry another wife. That's bigamy. Remember, you are a law student.
Man, they put divorce.
You are a law student. Why you hiding? Another thing again is that look, we have to be careful here of some lawmakers trying to blackmail the president, of using the attitude or the quote unquote ineptitude of not Speaker Tyler, but Speaker Coon, to say, look, if Speaker Coon doesn't step aside, or if we don't succeed in removing Speaker Coon, then we will boycott the president instead of the nation address. I mean, it's an attempt to blackmail the president.
You think?
And yeah, I hope this wouldn't be the case of an attempt to blackmail the president. Or if you don't make Speaker Coon to resign or allow us to remove him, we'll boycott your
Instead of the nation.
Instead of the nation. Well, actually, Mandela Cooper has worsened the situation of Speaker Coon. She has further exacerbated.
I want to ask.
She has further exacerbated
So
the situation that Speaker Coon finds himself in.
Okay.
Canada, I don't know what kind of question you
So
want.
in our setting, I want to know in our setting in Africa, especially in Liberia, man and woman who's supposed to announce they marry.
Man, woman.
Yeah.
The last time, wait.
Yeah.
That man supposed to announce.
That's right now, but the last time Ben your wife divorced him. And so Speaker Coon's wife can divorce him, or he can divorce his wife. So, but as you speak, you Kennedy and Mr. Family, David Tagby, we don't know whether Speaker Coon has officially divorced his wife. We don't know that.
So you need to put it in
So, gentlemen, the question is,
We don't know whether he divorced.
the
And
North.
Mandela Cooper is flying around.
So let's hear from you, Moses, on this.
Yeah, but look, the question George asked is a very important question. And honestly speaking, when I saw the lady announce herself, it's the same question that I asked myself. That seemed real weird, unusual, because I know men normally say this person is my spouse.
Yeah.
But for you to go publicly parading and engage, then this is questionable. I don't think that is common. That is not common in our culture, honestly speaking. It's not common. I may be wrong, but I don't think that is common in our culture. Yeah.
Okay. Gentlemen, we'll have to transition now. We'll have to transition on this. We have to.
Let me leave that in because
Yeah,
I don't like to
transition.
discuss it over there for
So
too
you're
long.
listening to the nighttime heat rated on Prime FM 105.5. Gentlemen, the spokesperson of the Liberia National Police went on social media and posted something which I'm about to read. It says LNP spokesperson Madam Cecilia G. Clark writes, the LNP has one spokesperson, and that mandate is my office to uphold. Stop the undermining. the misrepresentation and stereotyping that you are noted for. My silence is not stupidity. That's a spokesperson of the Liberia National Police. What's your interpretation there, legal man?
Well, Madam Cecilia Clark and I are schoolmates. She's in the law school. Very brilliant woman that I have a lot of, we've done a lot of courses together. So, but I think it's not strange to the LMP. It's all over within the Republic of Liberia, wherein every authority that takes over the entity, there is a media sections or department there, but then the leader themselves that heading the entity wants to have their own media stuff. And then in some instances, even information that's supposed to go to the media sections to deal with those issues, other people in their ministers or directors or managing director office are the one that putting these things out. And then what they do, they undermine the function of that particular department. At the end of the day, you realize that people are just sitting there called spokespersons, but they're basically not doing anything. In fact, even some of the information does not filter down to them because there is somebody in the managing director office or in the director general office that taking the camera behind him everywhere he goes, doing Facebook Live. There's any event, they pass the information on to them. And these things has to stop. Yes, you have friends who you want to bring on board. You have friends that you want to work with. If you bring them, if there's already a department or a division within the entity, put them there. Let it go and work there, rather than you bringing them to your office and then they become your personal media person. I think that's what happened.
No, but do you think Cecilia Clark, if that's the case that it is happening, that she's being undermined or misrepresented by, we know she's making reference to Sam Collins, but do you think it's proper for her to have gone public with this instead of discussing it in-house? Let me hear from you, George.
Knowing Cecilia who she is, I feel that she did in-house. Except where this time she deviated, but she always like internal resolutions. I think probably the director of police is a problem here. He still has a kind of relationship with Mr. Sam Collins. From the past, when he was police director, Sam Collins was with him. Sam went on the other side of the aisle. He was at the Ministry of Defense. Then he came to the police when Minister Sam Collins was not re-nominated to that position in the Ministry of Defense. He called him back to the police. In fact, we discussed one time how it was embarrassing to pull him by his trousers in Shalom. So he left Cecilia Clark carrying. I think that's why Mr. Fambule said you cannot pull the two people here together. If you took Sam Collins for another role, let him play that role. If you want him to go to media, you want to assign Cecilia another place, do it and let the confusion stop. Let the
no, Dave, Cecilia is a journalist, and that was sad. With what's happening, the director going to is referencing Sam more than Cecilia, who's originally is in that position or legally is in that position. What message does that send? That Cecilia is not performing for which reason or for such reason that he had to go for Sam Collins?
And that's exactly what I thought. That look, yes, Cecilia is the officially recognized spokesperson of the Liberia National Police. But is she on top of her game than Sam Collins? Sam could be more experienced. Sam could be more open-minded. And Sam could be more closer to, like somebody made reference to, during the last regime, he worked with the guy. But the director of police, if anything is happening between the Sam Collins and Cecilia Clark, then the director of police should be irresponsible. The first thing is that Sam and Cecilia Clark is an officially recognized spokesperson of the Liberia National Police, and she should be given all the courtesies when it comes to speaking for the Liberia National Police. there shouldn't be a usurpation of function on the side of Sam Collins. And if there's a usurpation of function, it should be the Director General of the police should put stop to it. Let both guys know their respective term of references. Cecilia must know a term of reference, and Sam Collins must know his term of reference. Whatever thing that has to do with speaking for the Liberian National Police, even if Sam is on top, or Sam should coordinate that with Cecilia and not take decisions or, take actions that would amount to the usurpation of the function of Cecilia. Yeah, so that's my position, that the director of police, if something like that is going on between the two persons, the director of police should be the right person to put a stop to it immediately.
Okay.
Look, Sam, this is where this is the line. Don't cross the line, because it's where Cecilia has authority.
Surely.
So whatever thing that has to do with speaking for the Liberian National Police, we coordinate that with Cecilia Clark. You are not a spokesperson. Cecilia Clark is a spokesperson, and please give her all courtesies.
Okay. Now, Moses, let's come to you and read this aspect of a statement. My silence is not stupidity. Moses, you think Cecilia was hatched in there, and it appears that her patience is running out, for which she went around.
Obviously, she's angry, but I think, like other of you have said, the mode which she opted to use to express her anger is absolutely wrong. This is institutional matter, not intended for the public. If I were in her position, this is what you do. You ask for a meeting with your immediate boss. Look, I'm not sure what is going on. Maybe someone is doing something unknown to you, and that is what I have noticed. Kanakoma, what is going on here? And the colonel can convene the meeting where the three of you can sit together and clearly define, hey, Sam, that is your role. That is the role of the police spokesman. Let us not forget, it is Kanakoma who hired Cecilia. Before Kanakoma, there was another gentleman there as police spokesman. And that person, when Kanakoma took over, Mr. Carter, right? So when Kanakoma took over, that person was demoted. Yes, when people are elevated, you have time to measure up. You have a responsibility to perform. If your managers at the top notice that you are not measuring up, they can begin to look the other way. And in most institutions, this is how they do it. They give you the probational period. If you are not measuring up, they call you in. I said, look, we hired you to do this, but unfortunately, you are not doing what is needed. If you cannot show that you are capable, we will replace you. That's why it is very important to always let the person who is being hired and the company to also be on the same page when it comes to job description or term of reference. I should know what my job duties and responsibilities are. My managers who are also supervising me, they should know what is expected of me. If I'm not doing that, then they can hold me accountable.
Okay.
Yes, that's how it goes. Yeah.
Thank you, Moses. And let me ask you, Mr. We said, do you think with the mode that Moses said, in which this Cecilia Clark, express her feelings, and does it show inexperience? Because, like somebody said, maybe she should have just gone to the police, the RG, and said, Mr. RG, there's something happening. Somebody is usurping my function, and maybe that could be discussed in house. But with coming out in the public, especially major institution, which is the Liberia National Police. Do you think this just shows experience on the part of Cecilia? Oliver? Mr. Wisa? Okay.
St. Oliver,
Yes,
St.
yes,
Oliver's
go ahead.
internet is off in Dubai. I'd like to come in. Look, it doesn't show any inexperience.
Okay.
How do we know that Cecilia didn't make several attempts in
That's what I
engage?
said, yeah.
Why? How do we know that she didn't make any attempt at all to engage the director of police, or even engage the same call himself? So look, when people are pushed to the wall somewhere, they go extra mile. So you don't blame them for whatever action they've taken or they must have taken. Cecilia, we sitting here all we don't know what must have happened before she came to the public. Whether she must have made several attempts of wanting to talk to engage the police director, and the police director avoided her, or she must have complained to the police director, and the police director did not see reason to address her grievances. Or
probably he wants Sam not to do, and Sam still doing what he's not supposed
and
to
the
do.
police director
So-
is giving more attention to Sam Collins than her as a spokesperson of the Liberia National Police. So the ball is in the court of the director of police. He should be the problem solver right there. That's what good administrators do. If you see two persons in that category having a conflict in terms of what their term of references are, then where the police director need to make an immediate intervention to solve that problem, and should have allowed it to come public.
Saba?
Yes, quickly.
Yeah, quick input. Look, Mr. Tagwe, I think we are all making assumptions here.
Yeah.
We're not sure whether this woman actually reached out or if she didn't. But what has happened now to go public, that has endangered her relationship with the police inspector general. Because now you go and ask the man for a meeting, and this man is going to tell you, say, but you already chose to go on Facebook. Go and address your problem on Facebook. Then what happens? That has just put her job in danger. This is why people always try to resolve problems behind the scenes. You do everything you can. There's the deputy inspector general at the police. There are other top people at the police. I think it is just absolutely wrong to go public with this. Honestly.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. We have to transition now.
Yes, sir.
David Tagwe is trying to cause distraction for us.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oliver, welcome back to the program. I'm sure you are following. Let's get your take quickly so we can transition.
Yeah, so let me tell Tagwe that my internet is not off. Had a little-
Mr. William,
Let's hear
Mr.
from you.
William, you didn't have to respond to me, my man.
Hello, gentlemen. I have to leave the show. I have to leave the show now to attend to something quickly. Tomorrow is my daughter's birthday. They just came, a whole group just came, and I gotta do something quickly. So so sorry. I will join you guys Wednesday. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
for your
bye,
time.
guys.
Okay, now, gentlemen, there's been this whole rigmarole, this disagreement, discontentment, rancor, whatever name we can give to that, between the Press Union of Liberia and the organizing committee of the Broadcast Media Awards. We sought to first get in touch with the guy who's organizing the awards, or who has organized the awards, to first tell us a bit about the awards and what he thinks that the PEL, the Press Union, is against that. So let's try to connect with Mr. Reiki J. I want to say he's the chairperson of the 2025 Broadcast Media Award. Mr. J. is now on the line. Let's speak with him quickly, and then we can also speak with the PEL president, Mr. Julius Kanaba. Mr. J. welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, George. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks to Liberian people.
Okay, you are on the nighttime heat. First, want to hear from you. What is all about these awards that you and others are organizing?
Okay, this award is to celebrate excellence in broadcasting. This award was held 6 years ago, and then it was held last year, and this year we organized the awards to make sure that we can celebrate all those who have contributed and still contributing towards the media landscape. We went through a lot in Liberia in making sure that we, as broadcast journalists, celebrate the excellence in our work we have been doing over the years. So yeah, that's the essence of having the broadcast media awards every year, to celebrate those, celebrate people like you, people like Master Queen, people like even to some of our legends, Bobby St. Harris, and even some of the other guys, Trojan and Malik and the rest of the people who have contributed to the media landscape in Liberia.
Okay, has it taken place or is still being planned?
We have had the third edition on Wednesday. In the midst of the untimely sabotage to the process, but it was successful. It was overwhelmed by journalists. We gave awards to people who have contributed to the media landscape this year, and it was a nice event. It was colorful. Food and drinks was there, and
hello.
You need some of those who.
Hello?
Yes, it was great.
Okay. Now, the two organized planned this event in collaboration with the Press Union of Liberia.
No, it's not a awards event. PL can be a sponsor of the event, which we can reach out to them to sponsor the event, because the first event we hosted, PL were one of those that was part of it with us. When we raised the first $10,000, we gave it to PL, because at that time we were trying to, put ourselves together. Now the second awards event, we invited the PL into the process too as well. The president, Julius Kanama, and the rest of the team were there. And this time around, we said, okay, this is an independent awards event. Let's have it, because this award event is we do have an article in corporation. It's an award event every year. Again, I will keep saying that to celebrate excellence in broadcasting. So yeah, PL was not one of our sponsors this year.
Now, you said PL was not one of your sponsors this year. But no, what we're hearing, and we wanted to clearly, clarify this. Have you been commercializing the awards or not?
Come again?
Have you been commercializing the awards or not? Are people been paying for the awards that you give them?
But who are some of those who receive the awards?
I don't know how can people commercialize in awards. I don't know. I don't think awards can be commercialized. If somebody even come to you and tell you, say, pay for awards, it means that you don't merit the awards. That's the bottom line. If somebody comes to you and tell you, say, you someone, George, you need to pay so we can award you, then it means that you don't deserve it. That's disrespect, and that's slap on your career. So what happening was there's a committee set up to make sure that we test every aspect in the award events, and the committee set up the awards event do have categories, right? And in those categories, one of those categories was to test. That is, the contestants that are contesting for the awards event will be able to use the Take Me Up so people can go and vote for them, which is something that happened with any awards event. And that's what we did this year. We bring in a different start to the awards event, and we allowed the contestants to be tested by the audience, and then we give them the opportunity to have yes or vote. And our votes constitute just 2% of your total votes.
Okay, so on this program we have other panelists. Let me give them each to ask a question, each of them, maybe one question or two questions, and then we can let you go. David, you can ask a question.
Yeah. Okay. So Jiplo, good evening. You hearing me, right, Mr. Jiplo?
Yeah, I get you loud and clear.
This is the guy we call DJ as a boy, right?
Yeah, hell yeah, that's me. That's your brother.
Oh,
We
DJ
are
as a
King's
boy.
FM, you know.
Okay,
You know what we
okay.
did. You know how struggle we are. So people like you that the reason we having this awards event because you have contributed greatly. And how many times people have because they hate so much in our country, we don't appreciate
Yeah.
the work of our people.
So DJ as a boy, the award is all about excellence in broadcasting, right?
Yeah.
Could you name some of those who received the award for their excellence in broadcasting?
You're talking about this edition?
I mean, this edition is this decision. I understand this decision is the one that we are scrutinizing now. So, you'd like to name some of those who received the awards this edition?
An awards, because now receiving the awards is one thing. Competing for the awards is another thing, right? Now, when you have been
No. DJ as a boy, wait now. DJ, have you given people the awards already?
I don't know what you guys not following.
No. I'm asking. No. What I'm asking, have you given people awards for this year already? For this year that we are closing now? Have you?
Yes, Saturday.
Okay.
Yes, Monday, Wednesday.
Okay, Wednesday people have received the awards. So I'd like to know. Can you tell us who are some of those who received the awards? Some of the guys have. Some of the persons that received the awards. I mean, you know, we need. No,
Somebody didn't get an award.
you didn't call
He
names.
didn't get an award.
Hello?
You didn't call names.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jiblo.
You getting me? Yeah, I'm live.
Yeah, so Tagba is asking.
I want you to call. Can we know some of those who are the recipients of the awards? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, when they still the award event and the best radio announcers of the year, the Red Broadcast Media Awards went to what his name from ERBC. So it was an edit up to
Hello?
I get you.
Yes, but we want you to be fast now in announcing the names of those who won the awards.
Yeah, so those who won, is let me just give you the list of those who won the award this year. It's on the page because we partner with DM. Give you the names of those who won the award this year.
Okay.
Simple.
Okay.
Okay, so let me just run it through quickly. All right. So those who won the award this year for the Broadcast Media Awards, you got Best Reporter of the Year. Yanti Toba won the Best Reporter of the Year. Yanti Toba, you got Vavli Kamara winning the Broadcast Media of the Year. You got the Female Broadcast Media of the Year. You got Clarence Jackson winning OKFM. You got Best Nighttime Radio of the Year. And you know, just to name a few, you get
Okay. All right. Let's end on that. Let's end on that. But because we'll shortly take leave of you. Any question from you, George?
No.
Okay. What will you add? Now let me ask you. The press union has been going back and forth with you on this entire award. In fact, there was a press release from the press union that you don't have the authority to organize such award, and we understand that there were some invectives used in that press release by the PUL, and you are contemplating taking the union or the president to court. How factual is that? Hello? Hello? Mr. Jiblo? Yes.
Yes, I can see you.
Yes.
Me?
Yes. Go ahead now.
Yes, I think you disrespectful on the part of us, knowing the fact that we know Julius on the awards event, which you and then you came back and you play with my character. If you read a press release, you will feel so bad for the press release to come from a president of the press you don't like it. That was so disrespectful to my character, to my family. You went too far. So I'm taking it to court. I'm consulting my lawyer on that because the essence of the press release was a sabotage for the awards event. It was a complete sabotage to cancel the entire award event. But I got being God to the help of all those who support the awards, who believe in the process, was actually at the process. But I think the press here, I think Julius has lacked opportunity. I lacked the know-how to actually unite the press here in Liberia. And that statement coming from him, signed by him, was a social slap in the face of even him, because people who won the award were posted the awards. So again, I think by taking it to my lawyer is going through it, and then we certainly going to read the press here, because now, let me say this, maybe he don't even do have over $5,000 US for us. From the first awards event, we get by using the press here like this year, you just don't have the authority to decide who hosts the awards event in this country. The press union is a union. It is union. It's a union. It's a group.
Okay.
Group of people.
Okay. We're going to take leave of you, Mr. Jiplo. You said that the first time you held the award, that you said you gave the PL $10,000 United Dollars.
$8,000 US. 8,000.
8,000. Well, how did you raise that money?
I mean, I can also we raised the money for the whole with Destiny after we partnered along with that award event.
If the recipients are not paying money for the awards, how did you raise 8,000?
So David is now asking Jiplo. Our coming Moses. Jiplo. David is asking if you didn't raise money or receive money from the winners or from those you awarded, whatever you awarded them. How did you raise the money?
The 8,000.
The 8,000.
When you're receiving, that man know me. When you have an event, you go for sponsorship. I don't know how you go to a award event and you say you go for the. I do. Even the journalists to pay for the awards, we don't have it. We don't have money. We even pay to go to our event. So what we do, we write sponsorship, because for me, I'm a journalist, I'm a broadcast journalist, entertainment journalist as well. I got sponsors. We went to, just the way we did this Ghana Award event, we went to Tipton, Liberia. Last year event was able to go to Telecel, Liberia. We had a broadcast tournament where we had to print jerseys, and we gave over $5,000 out for people like us who the people. You go to them, they'll give you money for the event.
Okay.
Sponsorship. That's what.
Okay. All right. Jiplo, we have one of our panelists who's online. He's from the US. He wants to chip in. So just listen to his question.
Yeah, and someone you can quickly convey these questions to him. I am interested in knowing, because when you talk about broadcast award, those who are doing the vetting process, those who are doing the vetting, qualified individuals who are supposed to be getting the award, are they themselves broadcasters? Are they broadcasters? One. Number two is, what standard, what yardstick are they using to determine that, hey, Moses Sandy qualified for an award? And then thirdly, he says that they reportedly gave the PL $8,000. So what was the purpose of giving the PL $8,000? Why?
Okay.
But let me explain this for us.
Okay. Go ahead now, Mr. Jiplo.
So when you're having an awards event, the first thing we do every year is to reach out to those who are in the media. Second thing, we solicit those names of people on the relay.
Look, so I wanted Matt to speak to my question. He's not speaking to my question. Let him speak to the questions I put to him.
Let's say what yardstick did you use
Yardstick.
But the yardstick I gave you, I gave you the
Okay.
yardstick.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The first yardstick we use is we go and we talk to veteran journalists and we collect the veteran journalists, we send out those names. We send names. The second one we do, we send the names to the stations. The stations will go over and select those names and those programs, the best programs. Then the third thing we do the civil society. Then the fourth thing we do, we set up a vetting committee with all those names that come. If you follow our awards event, we had a whole list from one radio stations to another, and then we have veteran journalists looking at those names. Then before we set up a committee that will look at those names and those programs, and before it can be categorized. That's the.
But look, so let me just say this quickly. Look, Mr. Gibler, quickly, let me just say this. I'm a little bit confused because if you going to award people as a group of people giving award to broadcasters, you yourself need to be broadcasters to determine who qualifies and who is not qualified. So if you wanna, listen, sir. If you are going to use other people's yardstick to determine who qualifies, that raises a lot of questions. And then tell us the $8,000 that you claim that you gave to the PL. What was the reason for that?
Oh, okay. What the reason we give them money to PR?
Yeah, that's the question I asked you. Speak to them.
Okay. No, not a contribution. What happened here was this, right? After we had the first event, because the relationship we did have with PR at that time, we raised the money and we said we can't open an account now. Let's give the union the money to hold the money for our next event. Because we never wanted to open an account, we have to get all the processes done. So the committee set up for the awards event, took the money, and we give it to Charles Coffey.
Look, man, so let's move on, man. Yeah, I don't see what you guys think.
Mr. Gibler, so Charles Coffey still got that money for you.
Went back to you.
But with the continue, Charles Coffey not getting money. Who's going to get the money?
Okay, we'll see you. Have a pleasant night. We'll see you. Let's see what I can. Thank you, Mr. Gibler. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You get Kazali the
I have story that proud story.
All right, gentlemen, let's see what we can get in touch with Mr. Julius Canova. We're trying to establish contact with Julius Canova. We spoke with him earlier, and you should be expecting our call anytime from now. Okay, Julius Canova is now on the line. Mr. Canova, welcome to the program. Welcome to the Nighttime Heat. He gone off. We're hoping I can come back on quickly. Want to talk to Julius Canova quickly. We're trying to establish contact with Julius Canova to see where we can talk to him. You listening to the Nighttime Heat? Right there. Okay, Mr. Canova, welcome to the program.
My internet giving problem.
Mr. Canova, welcome to the program.
Canova.
Man, it's internet. It's I think. Okay, let me ask him to call that right. It's better to call that right. Just call that right if you can. Okay, I think that he's trying to make the call. Mr. Canova?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, it is a pleasure. Sorry, I think the network has problem on our side.
Okay.
Nice to be.
Okay. So
that person will give you Starlink. Don't worry.
Okay, so Mr. President, I want to ask you, what is this situation with this broadcast media awards organizers and the PUL? What's happening that you know of?
Well, first, it's good that Ricky made a clarification that 1,000 that he said he gave to the president was not during our administration. So it's good that that clarity was first provided because in all of the conversations, he said he gave the president money, right? And he's not saying that it is continuity. So we are responsible for what he gave the previous and the leadership, without even us verifying. So first, yes, last year, when we took over in October 2024, I think the Broadcasters Association, that group identifying itself as a Broadcaster Association, approached the PUL leadership to form part of their awards night. Journalism and media practices in Liberia have been criticized. I listened to Moses Sandy, I listened to you, I listened to Kennedy in respect to what we all are reading and with respect to the executive shown in terms of some information that has been published. So when they invited us last year verbally on telephone and through their flyers that they sent to us, Ricky approached me. So we had to make significant consultations with some members of the union, both broadcasters and non-broadcasters, to know the nature and character or content of this particular group. And we were uncomfortable, I should say, unease in terms of going to that particular program last year. Those who are around us, they know my perspectives on certain issues. So at the time, they said that since the union had just emerged out of crisis, it was important for the PUL not to isolate certain people who might not have supported us or might have been a part of the conflict. I mean, let's bring everyone together. So that's how we went to that program. Senior media figures in the country who are themselves broadcasters asked me about the program, what the program was on, who were in between support. To God in heaven, you know me very well. You're not work at Star Reader at ELBC. Some wanted to come, some did not want to come. In the end, some came. So what we witnessed in 2024 was a complete embarrassment on the part of this particular group. And I'm very honest. I've told Ricky that many times. Perhaps he's not getting the point by the PUL or by us who just believe this is a sham, it's a money-making stuff that they are engaged in. So the honor people who are not broadcast journalists, I think Moses raised an important question along with Dave and Kennedy, right? The honor people who are not broadcast journalists, in fact, people from the print media, like Jenny Fala, Winnie Sewa, there are a lot of different names that they honor at that occasion that they were not broadcast journalists. You say broadcasters as well. Their saying was that these people supported the broadcasting sector. Winnie, up to now, it is Winnie Sewa Jimmy, has not received her award because this particular group, from what we learned, has been going to her that they want money from her. She has not taken that award. What also happened was that they gave lifetime award to people who are not in the broadcasting sector. Judy Endo was honored at that occasion. Religious leaders, people from communities and the business associations. And if you want to associate the leadership of the President of Liberia with such people in society that we have not been able to do a proper, like Moses said, vetting is problematic. So at that occasion, we sat over there for 2 hours. And this is the mistake they are making, right? Ricky and the group, they did not even invite the president on that podium to speak. There has been no occasion where the president has been invited, right, by either a constituent organization or by the government or by any people, right, in society. The president does not speak at that event. Kennedy is an experienced person. You saw you had an experienced person in terms of the president. So we found it first as insulting to the leadership. Secondly, the award ceremony in 2024, you know what they were doing, Sobo? If they call you to come receive your award, they ask you to put something in the basket. So it becomes this sort of extorting money from people. People were embarrassed. The former president of the PUL, Peter Kokwe, was also at that program. I think he had to give, sir, from my recollection, I put it to the wrong $50 US. And Macron Joseph had to get him $100 US. Other people had to put money in the basket. That was embarrassing. There was only one broadcast award last year that when they called Peter to deliver to Olive Stevenson, Olive Thomas Stevenson, Balatansha working at OKFM. Now Peter said, okay, yeah, these are, this is, a broadcaster. At least I feel, humble or pleased to present this award. But where are the broadcasters that you want to honor and you've not been able to show us, right? So after that event, I spoke with Ricky, and let me be honest with you, the public and himself and his God, right? We spoke with him. We said, no, don't never, ever embarrass the union in such a situation. Don't put such an occasion, because this is not a broadcast award. Then secondly, Ricky tells me that in fact, the president took the credit for the 2024 broadcast award because people praised the president, the organization was well done. I told him, I said, look, Julius Kanumba is not somebody you can just convince with this sort of awards. You organize your award ceremony, then you say the president is the one people crediting. It's not possible. It's not possible. So fast forward, May of this year, we're celebrating World Press Freedom Day. The very Reiki came, he said he has got sponsors, and I hope you listen to him. He said he got sponsors. He wants to host a separate World Press Freedom Day celebration. By that time, we are already named a committee, right? That committee was chaired by Comrade Leader Festus Pupui, an editor at the Oracle newspaper, one of the publishers. He was a Democrat. We invited Reiki to sit before the committee to see his plans that he had. He wanted to organize a social event at the ELBC compound using the ELBC canteen. So we said, okay, since you say you have sponsors, let the president work with you. We send a letter to your sponsor. He said, no, only him can send letter to his sponsors. His sponsor can trust him with resources or what have you. And then he can manage and organize his events. He only wants the union's approval. And we said, no. Right now, we are trying to build the credibility and integrity of this institution. We can't be authorizing people outside of the leadership channel to write letters that we would not see and to start to solicit money, because the president does not just write anyone for any assistance or help support. You know that.
Mhm.
So he said no. He said, in fact, we're creating out of bureaucracy. He left that group. So, but Ricky did not attend the World Press Freedom Day celebration because that offer that he made and the offer that we made to him, he rejected it, right? Then, on the use of the ELBC canteen, by that time, the president had taken a position statement as a result of a leadership dispute between the ELBC workers and the management team at ELBC. That the management team was accused of seizing the canteen from the workers, right? You were an employee of ELBC. I think it was one of the people leaders, Harvey Roger, that built that canteen. So we had problem. We went public on that. Then how can you tell the president to go to that same facility to go and use it? We told him it was not possible, right? So with all of these, Ricky left. He never ever came to that program on World Press Freedom Day. Fast forward, this year's award, we were never ever informed of this award. So the first lie that Ricky told you was that the president was not a sponsor. I sent you a picture on your WhatsApp, right? Look at the logos of their sponsors that they listed. The president emblem, the logo is being used. The seal of the president is being used. So we've had instances here where people use a letterhead of the PUL, they put that particular logo. They got $2,800 from one of the government agencies. To the extent that we launched an investigation, we were almost at the verge of going public. They beg all in terms of the reputation of the institution, right? We have to manage that. I think senior leader Kennedy might be aware, right? So all of these things are happening. Yeah. And then 2025, Reggie is organizing these events. It does not involve, he does not inform us, and he said it regularly that he was holding an independent event. You hosting an independent event, you have the president as a sponsor. He did not extend invitation to us. He sends us a flyer. One of the organizing committee members, where I think his name is Aaron Cuban, he got to me. He said, Julius, are you aware of the broadcasters and the upcoming award? I told him no. He said, Ricky has told us on the organizing committee that he informed you, the PUL. I said, well, to the best of my knowledge, no, it has not happened. And I told him in that message that at the appropriate time, the president will take a position. So
okay.
Wait, just a few seconds. What was strange also was that people who have been nominated for these awards, broadcasters, where their images were put on social media. For instance, they put your image there, and then they got to some of them to give them money, where we have credible people who got to us to register their concern. So some members of the union filed letters and the public did to the union to intervene, right? So we did everything we could to investigate and then to take a position. And Sabo, how can you say you nominated Sabo as the best broadcaster? You telling Sabo to go and vote for himself through an app wherein Sabo will have to pay $5 to vote for himself, and that $5 will increase his vote. Then you tell Sabo that tell your supporters to vote for you $1. The more money you pay, the more likely you become the broadcaster or the broadcast award, right? I mean, the more likely you have to win. So what they've been cleverly doing is that they will take the images of different broadcasters some known, some unknown. They put it, and then looking for money. So this is a commercialization of the awards.
Okay.
They're very clear. So,
okay. So
legitimate representative body of journalists, and anyone that is involved in a malpractice or something resembling malpractice, we will have to take a public position on it. And that is why we took that position, and we are glad that those who have ears to listen, they listen. How can you say, for instance, ELBC is the best broadcast radio station of the year? Then, because Eugene Fagon at ELBC is supposed to go receive the award, when the president issued a statement, now Eugene Fagon is insulting the PUL. Oh, and the PUL was wrong to issue the statement. The PUL does not have the authority to say nobody can host awards. So what? You know about the award ceremony of the PUL, the annual awards. So what people are trying to do, some are still yet in this electoral pool.
Okay.
They want to create parallel structures within the union. And we can sit and allow the president to go down in history for the personal interests of people. We can't.
All right, Mr. President, thank you. Time has cut off for us, but let me ask you the last question. We listened to Ricky, and he said he's trying to talk with his lawyer, speak with his lawyer to bring a lawsuit against you because you're trying to incriminate him.
Incriminate him in what sense? What we say is a fact. We are ready to go to any court in the Republic. We are battle tested with court processes, so nobody can intimidate or can make us scared with court. In fact, but them using the logo of the President of Liberia without authorization, that is criminal in nature.
Okay.
So we have the right to go to court on that particular matter. So they should not say something that will appear, they want to intimidate the president. We have to be honest with these things. The malpractices in journalism can increase as a result of some of these things. How can you be giving awards to Bogondila group, the other group, then you say broadcasters award?
Okay. All right. Oh, Mr. President. Mr. President.
So wait, one point you should ask him. Besides the broadcasters that you awarded, who are the other people you awarded? Let them answer that question. And Moses asked an important question, the vetting process. How can you have members of the organizing committee on that particular vetting process? Then they are awarding their own institutions, right? So how can you have a sponsor? Then you're giving the sponsor award, right? ELBC, what they printed was a sponsor. So you see all of these things suffer conflict of interest, lack of integrity, lack of credibility. So these are things that we have to, and we are glad that some of the journalists that are known who were giving these awards are behind their backs, they be able to return it. Yeah, even last year, some people left the awards with them because it is not a credible process, right? And we're telling Ricky to stop what he's doing.
Okay.
Those who have been boarding him, they should be able to tell him.
Okay, Mr. President. Mr. President, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. David, let's go around the table. Let me begin with you, Ed. Not Ed, but Mr. Kennedy. You listen to the two sides.
The only advice I give Ricky is to step back. He's a friend. You need to understand when to start it and when to stop it. You cannot fight the union. The other thing is to the government of the president cannot be switching on street lights, man. Let somebody else go and do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Let the president look at bigger picture.
Okay, Mr. Famole.
Yes, to the issue of the president, I think the president raised a lot of genuine concerns. Most of the things, sometimes people allow other entities or organizations to do these awards, but the process needs to be actually transparent and fair. Let people know exactly how it's been done.
Yeah.
You can't be asking people, who you're supposed to give the award to contribute and put in a picture and for people to go and vote. Then it's not genuine. And then at the end of the day, those who are actually working and putting their best don't get these awards. Just to end up with what my brother said, there have been a lot of negative criticism on this whole thing that happens today. And I think we have bigger pictures to look at. And I can say this, I work for that entity, but I don't support this idea where when you put one small community on, the president go there and go turn 2 or 3 transformers or so. It makes absolutely no sense. We need to have some level of respect to our leaders, to our president. When the president goes somewhere, he goes there for a purpose. but carry him to go and turn. In fact, some people even saying that 50 street lights, you want to go turn on our highway, which of course now they're trying to play politics with yes, President we have built the road. In fact, the road contract had street lights. Why is the president going there to go and turn it off? I think for us to be able to sway the public away from this mediocrity, we have to step up the game.
Okay. Dave, let's hear from you quickly.
Yeah, if I were a president and you called me to come and switch on a street light, I should be the one to tell them, say, look, that is below my standard. My vice president or somebody else will come.
Not even the vice president.
But if the president agrees to go there, you don't hold the people who invited him responsible. Hold himself responsible. Why should he be going to even dedicate hand pumps and all those things?
You say we're not dedicate hand pumps again?
Yeah, and the president said quite recently that he would not dedicate hand pumps.
Okay.
But regarding the crisis, this the misunderstanding between, look, to be very frank with you, how can you have an excellence in broadcasting award? Then you are awarding.
What a picture. Can you put a picture up?
Then how can you be, excellence in broadcasting award? Then you get when you say, well, I was a publisher of a managing editor of a newspaper who was not a broadcaster.
She's from the print, yeah.
And then how they call it, Jenny Fowler, who is, I think she's the business manager
for
at Equal newspaper. You gave her an award. Is she a broadcaster? Then the other person is Judy Andy. Judy Andy is a culture dancer, very smart woman. And a very smart woman. What is she doing with a broadcaster? Well, she a broadcaster. So and besides that, on a very serious note, the president of Liberia should be, look, if the president gives an award to an individual or an institution,
it's more weighty.
It's more weighty than a group of individuals seeking survival, awarding people with awards overnight. That's absolutely marketing. That's not professionalism. That's marketing. That's making
money gobbling.
Money. Yeah. It's unfair.
We heard you.
Besides that, even if you had good intention, collaborate coordinate with the president of Liberia. Get the blessing of the president of Liberia. But you don't have the president of Liberia should be the one recognizing people as broadcasters so good, like you did a reporter of the year. Then another group, you have a parallel group that is doing the same thing. So if the president comes to do it, which one, so the president of Liberia should be respected, and we can be members of the president of Liberia, proud members of the president. They at the same time we are stabbing the union in the back.
Yeah, sure.
Moses
Sandy, let's hear from you quickly so we can close up.
It's wrong.
Yeah, quickly. I agree with everything that all of you have said. Really, this whole broadcast award. I don't want to be sounding condescending, but I think it's just a group of people who are trying to fraud, the system. How do you do content analysis of people's work when you yourself you are not a broadcaster? How do you name Moses Seni as the best newscaster of the year when you do not even know what it means to do an excellent presentation as a broadcaster? The whole thing is fraud, and you're talking about taking money and giving it to the media. You're soliciting money. Look, let me not be repetitive, man, but I think it's absolute nonsense. Then that's like I agree with all of you again on this. The level of sycophancy in government. You plan one electric pole, then you bring the president to turn on lights. I mean, there are certain things that are just below the belt. We promote mediocrity in Liberia. It's not unusual for you to electrify, certain areas in the country. You just doing a piece of job. You bring two bicycles, you tell the president to go and donate that. That's absolute nonsense. The people who are managing the office of the president, they should elevate that office. Anything they bring to your office, you tell those people, look, man, you can't reduce our presidency to this level. So I hope our people in government will begin to listen to some of these things. We're not saying it because we hate them, but you can reduce the office of the president to a certain level.
Okay.
I agree with everything you guys said. Thank you.
Okay. So we've just uploaded on the screen the photo, the picture from the awards committee, and of course you see the PUL logo. It's been used, and without the PUL consent, just what the president was just talking about. It's on the screen. But gentlemen, it's troubling for the union, man. And like we said earlier, when we're talking about the guys who went to the president's program and came out with a release that the president gave them, it just show a total decline of the profession. Our profession is declining. We got a lot of quacks, half-baked individuals who are part of the profession. Look, I didn't see that press release. For a group of journalists to go to sit with the president, the first thing is a prestige. It's an honor to sit with the president. Then after the meeting with the president, when you come up to say, "Oh, the man gave you $100," the man was not forced to give you anything.
I signed that.
It was not forced.
Nowadays I got money from
no. But we were practicing. We're not asking for Qatar.
Nowadays,
We're not asking for Qatar. It's troubling, and the union has a lot to do. The PL has a lot to do. But gentlemen, let me thank all of you for your presence here tonight. I think you did extremely well, Mr. Tabwe. Thank you, and Mr. Edwin Fambule. We want to say thank you, Mr. George Kennedy. We gave you the plaudits, and Moses Sandy, Oliver Awisa was here earlier. We want to thank all of you, along with the producers also. They've been doing extremely well. We want to thank all of you. We want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous and happy New Year. Dave, what are you taking us on Christmas Day, man? Okay, so we'll also open the chat room. We'll open the chat room on Moses. We're hoping that you can get everybody in the chat room, please.
Yeah, sure. Once you send me all the numbers, I will include them. George in the chat room, right?
I haven't seen myself.
Just so he's not in the chat room.
Oh, really? But George, I added you. But you know what, George? Inbox me your number again.
Immediately.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys inbox me your numbers. I will add you to the chat room.
Thank you, sir.
Sure, you're welcome.
Yeah, I will send your number to him. So until then, listeners, viewers, we want to thank all of you for listening and viewing tonight. Join us on return with the nighttime heat. Have a pleasant rest.